Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Okay, I am back with another book related video. I am doing another segment of book recommendations. At this point, I believe we should be at part 4 now. In the last part, I did Disney type retellings, fairy tale, and I mentioned that I had a book that I wanted to include, but I did only do 4 books at a time. And then in my last book haul, I got some more Disney type retelling, so now I have more. So I'm just gonna continue with the whole Disney retelling fairy tale style book recommendations. I do have one book though that isn't that type, but it is, you know, princess, royal family, all of that. So I'm just gonna include it, and only also because I do 4 books at a time. So yeah, we're doing it that way. So we're gonna start. So the first book I have is To Kill a Kingdom. And if it looks familiar, I showed it in the last book haul, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to read the back, then tell you my take on it, and yeah, how it's like a Disney retelling. I have a heart for every year I've been alive. Princess Lyra is Siren royalty, the most lethal of them all. With the hearts of 17 princes in her collection, she is revered across the sea, until a twist of fate forces her to kill one of her own. To punish her daughter, the Sea Queen transforms Lyra into the one thing sirens loathe the most, a human. Robbed of her song, Lyra has until the winter solstice to deliver Prince Elion's heart to the Sea Queen, or remain a human forever. The ocean is the only place Prince Elon calls home, even though he is heir to the most powerful kingdom in the world. Hunting sirens is more than an unsavory hobby, it's his calling. When he rescues a drowning woman in the ocean, she's more than what she appears. She promises to help him find the key to destroying all of the siren kind for good. But can he trust her? And how many deals with Elion have to broker to climate humankind's greatest enemy? I'm pretty sure you can figure out who he saved, who the woman was. But this is a Little Mermaid retelling, siren, yeah. But like in this universe, sirens are one thing and mermaids are another. It says, I have a heart for every year I've been alive. So sirens ultimately collect hearts, and it just keeps track of their age. On the other hand, mermaids, they eat the hearts because they want to become more like humans. Yeah, 2 different, yeah, but they all are under the Sea Queen, who is Lyra's mother, and they do not have a good relationship whatsoever. But she does something she's not supposed to, and her mother punishes her for it and takes away her song, like Ursula took away Ariel's song. But Lyra still has her voice, but she doesn't have her siren song anymore. And ultimately she has to take the heart of the prince in order to get back in her mother's good graces, just like, and she has a deadline, just like Ariel had to fall in love with Prince Eric before her deadline with Ursula. You see where I'm going? So this is why it is a Disney retelling type, but it's really, really good. I definitely would like to see this in a live adaptation. I think it's a good take on, you know, the whole sirens and mermaids being like different, but also how Lyra and Elion, they're both royalty and they both have their differences with their parents, how their parents want them to be a certain way, and they just don't want to follow in that, but at the same time not much of a choice is given. And while Lyra is going on this journey to capture the prince's heart, she's seen a different side of things. Like, she's never been human, so now she's seeing how they, you know, see things in their world, how sirens are to them, and it's a whole lot going on. But then kind of Ilion and Lyra come to this understanding. They start to learn more about each other and see kind of why they do what they do. And it does get juicy towards the end because, you know, truths are revealed, stuff is coming out. But honestly, this a masterpiece. Really, really good. And it also has like pirate vibes to it because Prince Ilion, like it says, he lives on the ocean. Really, he's kind of like a pirate, and he has his own crew and everything, and they hunt sirens. But it's top tier, I would say. A really good retelling, and you know, kind of like it more than The Little Mermaid. Yeah, it's more twisted, a little gruesome, not too much though. But yeah, it's kind of like a darker version of The Little Mermaid, and it's superb. So yeah, I would highly recommend To Kill a Kingdom. Really, really good. Then Heartless. Again, it looks familiar because it was in my last book haul, but I'm pretty sure you can tell. But it is what is her, the Queen of Hearts. It's basically her story. So I'm gonna read the back and then give you my insight. Catherine may be one of the most desired girls in Wonderland and a favorite of the unmarried king, but her interests lie elsewhere. A talented baker, she wants to open a shop and create delectable pastries. But for her mother, such a goal is unthinkable for a woman who could be a queen. At a royal ball, where Kath is expected to receive the king's marriage proposal, she meets handsome and mysterious Jest. For the first time, she feels the pull of true attraction. At the risk of offending the king and infuriating her parents, she and Jess enter into a secret courtship. Kath is determined to choose her own destiny, but in a land thriving with magic, madness, and monsters, fate has other plans. So this is basically the Queen of Hearts backstory, which I love. I'm really into the whole villain backstory thing. It's like, you know, when Disney did Maleficent's movies and they basically told us how she became the way she did. This is it, which is no excuse for acting how you act, but there are reasons behind everything. And Catherine, she is a lady, and all she really wants to do is bake pastries and open up a shop with one of her like maids. And her mother, more so than her father, wants her to pursue a relationship with the king so she can be queen, so they can basically move up in the world. Her dad is kind of just like there. He basically just agrees with Catherine's mom, and yeah. But the night that the king is supposed to propose, Catherine runs out and she meets Jest, who is the new Joker. And she realizes that she kind of likes him, even though their interaction is like small. She is feeling more attraction to him than she ever has had with anyone else. So, as it said, they decide to go in a secret courtship. But the thing is, Jest figures out that the king does want to pursue a relationship with Catherine. And so now they're doing the secret courtship behind the king's back, but at the same time, the king keeps asking Jess for advice on how to, you know, get Catherine to like him. So it's not a love triangle, but you get the gist of what is going on. And for a while, you know, things go good for Catherine, and then they don't. You also meet like the Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit, the Jabberwocky is in here. I want to say that's like it for the main characters, like main characters, but it's a whole world and a different look on Wonderland. Oh, you also meet the cat. I forgot his name. The Cheshire Cat and the caterpillar. He's like mentioned in it. But it's I'm trying to explain but not say much, because like at the end she has, in my opinion, she has a good reason to becoming the evil off with their heads queen. I mean, if what happened to her happened to me, I would have reacted the same way, because it's a whole thing. You have to read it. It goes down at the end. Secrets are unveiled. It's a whole lot. And you know, for a moment there, Catherine, she's like about to get her happiness with Jess, and then things just go off the rails. And she becomes evil. But I say she becomes evil by default, because she was on a good path. Things were about to go well. But and then where Catherine lives, she lives in, how they said, like the red world. I don't know, the red world and then the white world, because you know, the white queen and the red queen, and it's separated in the book. It's separated by the looking glass. Yeah, it's a whole lot that goes on there, and they were supposed to get their happy ending and they didn't. And Catherine's parents, they realized too late what they've done. And Catherine's like, well, here we are now, basically. You should have thought of this sooner. It's too late. And honestly, she has every right to be mad at her parents, because she tried to tell them time and time again and they blew her off like she was nothing. So I'm fully backing Catherine here. It was a long time coming for her to finally find happiness, and she did, and then it was destroyed. But I recommend Heartless. It's really good. It's a good backstory, and it has like really good details of why, more so like where the off with their heads phrase came from, because that's like explained in here, which I thought was cool, and just kind of gives you a little bit of details on some of the Wonderland characters that are different from the movies. So I thought that was cool. And the author, Marissa Meyers, you can see she has like a whole Disney retelling type thing going on. Here are like the rest of her books at the down here. I do plan to read them, but as you can see, it's a whole lot of books, which is a whole lot of money. So we're taking time. We're being really slow. And then this is more also, if y'all can see. But yeah, so I do recommend this for a good Disney retelling, a good backstory, and in general just recommend Marissa Meyer books because they're really good, and I do plan on reading the rest. She calls it the Lunar Chronicles, so I will read the rest of those, but I did start with this one, which isn't really in the series. It's like a standalone. You don't have to read this one in a particular order, so yeah. Okay, and the last two books are actually by the same author. So I'm gonna do this one first. It's by Melissa Bashardoust. I hope I said that right, but it's Girls Made of Snow and Glass. To me, it kind of gave like Elsa and Anna vibes, a little bit of the Evil Queen. It was a lot of fairy tales I kind of picked up on, which I thought was cool. I don't think it was intended, but that's why it's included in here. So I am going to read, and then yeah. 16-year-old Mina's heart has never beat with love for anyone. Her heart has never beat at all, but she has never guessed that her magician father cut out her heart and replaced it with one made of glass. When she goes to White Spring Castle for the first time, Mina forms a plan. Win the king's heart with her beauty, become queen, and finally know love. The only catch is she'll have to become a stepmother. 15-year-old Princess Lynette looks just like her late mother, and one day she discovers why. A magician created her out of snow in the dead queen's image at her father's order, but Lynette would rather be her fierce stepmother, Mina. She gets her wish when her father makes Lynette queen of the Southern Territories, displacing Mina. Now Lynette must decide what to do and who to be to win back the only mother she's ever known, or else defeat her. And you know, we love to see it. Yep, Mina, the stepmother queen, Lynette, the beautiful princess. They were two young women doomed to be rivals from the start. Only one can win all, while the other loses everything, unless they can find a way to reshape themselves in their story. So, Mina, as you heard, her father's a magician and took her heart out and replaced it with a glass heart. And it just gave me... Okay, so I do want to tie this to another book I read. I recommended in the last one, Poisoned. It has something in relation to a heart, so I want to tie that in, like a little bit of Snow White. And then Lynette, she's literally made from snow. And that's where I thought of, you know, like Elsa and Anna, because homegirl is made from snow, like Olaf, but she looks like a human. And as you also heard, they're close in age. So Mina's whole purpose, she just wants to prove to her father that someone can love her and that she can love someone even though her heart is made out of glass. And Lynette kind of just wants to grow into her own person. Her father wants her to be her mother so bad, like, and she just doesn't want to be like that. And to be honest, she's never met her mother. The only mother she knows is Mina. So naturally, she wants to be like Mina. And when her father starts seeing her pick up on habits like Mina, he tries to separate them. He tries to tell Mina, like, do not, you know, hang out with my daughter anymore. You need to limit your time. He's talking to Lynette, like, you need to start doing this. You need to start being more like your mother. And she keeps telling people, like, she's never met her mother. She does not. And all anyone can really tell her is, oh my God, you look so much like your mother. That's because she was made from snow to look exactly like her mother. But homegirl doesn't know that yet. She finds out later. But it's kind of like they get put against each other essentially. As you heard, Mina comes to White Springs, which is all winter there, hence Lynette being made from snow. And as time goes on, one of the ways the father decides to separate the two is to give Lynette the Southern Territories, which is where Mina is from, and she had been fighting to get the Southern Territories because the people there look up to them, look up to her. She's their queen, you know, she wanted to do so much, and she had been asking the king for the Southern Territories for a long time, and he kind of just really shut her down. And then he gives it to Lynette, and Lynette is just like, she doesn't even really want to do this, which she has told Mina, but she doesn't tell her father because she feels like when talking to him, it's going in one ear and out the other. And that kind of causes a drift between them because Lynette knows how bad Mina wants those territories, but at the same time, she still, in a way, doesn't want to disappoint her father. But she wants to hold on to the only mother she's ever known. Lynette is going through it. And new people start coming to White Springs. She starts to make friends, starts finding out the truth, but then she wants to learn more about herself, but she knows she can't go to her father. And with the drift between Mina, she knows Mina can't really help her. And she's kind of on her own. She's like running off, doing all of this and that. And honestly, she does find the answer she wants. Her and Mina are actually closer than they think, but someone does try to put the two against each other in the end after they somewhat work things out, and the big truth gets revealed at the end. And I would like to say it does get a happy ending, like problems do get solved. This also gives you, at one point in the book, it gives you like wicked stepmother vibes, which I was here for, but there are other forces at play in the book, you know what I'm saying? But I would recommend this one was really good. It did kind of start like a tad slow, but once you keep reading, it's really good. Yeah, and that's why I would say it was like kind of a Disney retelling, just because it kind of pulled from a lot of different fairy tales in my opinion, and they kind of just all came together. But yeah, it's really good. And the last book, like I said earlier, it's not a Disney retelling, but I do recommend 4 books at a time, so I had to pick a 4th book. And this is also by Marissa Bashardoust, as I said. Hopefully I said that right. But this is Girl Serpent Thorn. I know it's such a pretty cover, but I am going to read and then tell y'all my point of view. And I did read this like in like February, just putting it out there, so excuse me if I forget some stuff. There was and there was not. As all stories begin, a princess cursed to be poisonous to the touch. But for Soraya, who has lived her life hidden away apart from her family, safe only in her gardens, it's not just a story. As the day of her twin brother's wedding approaches, Soraya must decide if she's willing to step outside the shadows for the first time. Below in the dungeon is a demon who holds the knowledge she craves. The answer to her freedom above is a young man who isn't afraid of her, whose eyes linger not with fear, but with an understanding of who she is beneath the poison. Soraya thought she knew her place in the world, but when her choices lead to consequences she never imagined, she begins to question who she is and who she is becoming, human or demon, princess or monster. We love to see it. Also, this is enemies to lover. Maybe not the enemy you think it is at the start, but it's enemies to lover. There's like a whole different love romance going on that I didn't see coming, but it's really good. So Soraya is initially just stuck with this curse, and basically to the world all there ever was just her brother, because they have never put her out there because of the curse, and she has, you know, snuck around before, and when she does, she wears gloves as a precaution. But you know what, tie that in to Elsa, what it kind of is, but you know, when Elsa wore her gloves so she wouldn't freeze people, there we go, Disney connection. But she starts learning things about herself, how she became cursed per se. She finds out the truth, she finds out some lies, and then she starts to try to make a deal with her brother, because essentially she does like want to go to his wedding. Excuse my dog. She does want to go to his wedding because at the end of the day that is her brother, and she would like to be there for a special day, but still her parents don't really trust her to go out, and like I said, they kept her a secret. But she finds out there's a demon in the dungeons that could possibly have the answers to how to break her curse, how to make her become normal. So she starts to work with her brother to meet this demon, and he's asking for things like, you need to get this to help so I can help you, but also like, I'm telling you this, you don't have to listen to me, you don't have to believe this is the truth, but it is the truth. So she starts to question those around her because of what the demon said. And kind of like for once in her life, while she is, you know, talking with this demon, he's not really looking at her like she's a curse or I need to be scared of her. He's looking at her like she's a person. So she does value that, because no offense, as much as her family would like to think they're treating her like she is normal, they are not. Homegirl knows she is the outcast in the family. She kind of starts turning away from her family because she does want to break this curse. She does want to be normal. She does want to go out in the world, and bad things happen. She gets the knowledge she needs. She acts on that knowledge, and then nothing but bad things happen. There is like a story, I don't remember it, but it's like a child's story that her like mother would tell her. Come to find out, that story is true, and it kind of badly backfires on Soraya. And then she has to face the consequences. A lot of bad stuff starts to happen to her, to her loved ones, to the people in her kingdom. And now it's like she has to fix it, because essentially she did cause the trouble, but not by herself, because it did start long before her. You do have to read to understand what I'm talking about, but it started long before her. And now she's kind of just like in the fight for her life. One, she is fighting for her life, but she's also fighting for the lives of her family and her people. And along the way, someone else comes, and yeah, we have enemies to lovers, like straight enemies to lovers. You didn't even see a relationship coming. But as Soraya learns the truth and learns what she can actually do, she overcomes it all, I would like to say. Like Elsa overcame her power, she learned about it, she fixed things. That is Soraya. There is the tie. But this is a really good book. It does start off pretty slow. It took me a couple chapters to get in to like really say it's going, but once you kind of get to like the action, it does start to speed up and you'll enjoy it more. But just putting that out there, it is a slow start, but it's really good. And I thought it was an interesting take on a, you know, kind of cursed princess who is thrown in the shadows from her family. But there is a reason behind everything. You just have to read to find out the reasons. But yeah, this, we love to see it. And that was my last book for like my Disney retellings again. But I don't have any more to continue this. When I do, we'll continue with more Disney retellings. We don't. The next time we do book recommendations. Not sure what I'll be recommending. I mean, I have more books. I'm looking at my shelf right there. It's literally all Grishaverse. That would take forever. I could just tell y'all to just read Grishaverse. It is worth the read, and read them in order. But not sure what I'll be recommending next time. And I do only have like 2 more books left to read, so I will be doing another book haul soon. So yes, another book related video. But yeah, we've reached the end. Those are all the books I have for this book recommendation. So until the next time. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button down below. Peace and blessings, my loves.